In this special commemorative episode, Amaro Voice explores the history of the Sinti and Roma genocide carried out by the Nazi Germany and its allies, and why August 2nd is a day of remembrance for Roma and Sinti across Europe. Through survivor testimonies, historical facts, and contemporary voices, we ask how do we remember what was nearly erased, and what does justice look like today? So the Roma and Sinti genocide, the official number is around 500,000 Sinti and Roma were murdered by the Nazis, estimated vary due to the poor documentation. Welcome to the Amaro Voice podcast. Amaro is from the Romani language and means our Roma, Sinti, and Roma voice among Europe. My name is Romani Genocide. I'm a journalist and Roma activist from Germany.
Hi, I'm Melissa and I'm from Leipzig and I'm 26 years old.
In this special commemorative episode, Amaro Voice explores the history of the Sinti and Roma genocide carried out by the Nazi Germany and its allies, and why August 2nd is a day of remembrance for Roma and Sinti across Europe. Through survivor testimonies, historical facts, and contemporary voices, we ask how do we remember what was nearly erased, and what does justice look like today? So, the Roma and Sinti genocide, the official number is around 500,000 Sinti and Roma were murdered by the Nazis, estimated vary due to the poor documentation and systematic erasure. So, that means that there is a black historical number that some experts and historical people, like scientists, say that maybe can be also more than 500,000. And Roma and Sinti were targeted based on racial ideology alongside Jews, disabled people, and others. They were victims of forced sterilization, deportation, medical experiments, and mass executions. So the Sinti and Roma, so we have also a Romani name version of the Sinti Roma genocide, and we have in Romani language three versions of like our name, like example for the Jewish genocide with Shoah. So in Romani language we have three. One is Poraimos, Samudaripen, and Kalitrash. So what happened on 2nd of August, 1944? So on the night of August 2nd, 1944, 2,897, so almost 3,000 Sinti and Roma men, women, and children were murdered in the so-called Gypsy family camp at Auschwitz-Birkenau. And it is now marked as the International Roma Holocaust Memorial Day. So if you want to know how they managed to have this day as International Memorial Day, watch my interview from last year with Irina Spataru.
In 2014, it was the 70th anniversary of the 2nd of August, and it was the first time that so many young people and general Roma people came together to commemorate the 2nd of August and to talk about the problems that we are facing today. And this was not only impactful for the people who were present, but after that, in 2015, because many of the young people took the initiative to bring the Dikina Star event and the commemoration to their own countries, and Tetnipe, together with other organizations, also went to the European Parliament with a survivor, Raymond Gourem, to advocate for the recognition on the European level. And we got this recognition just 1 year after the big event in 2014. And since then, there were many countries who recognized officially the 2nd of August.
So
If you don't really know about Auschwitz and what's going on there and what was there, I have a really good movie. It calls Dui Roma. It's a movie from Jovanka Gasper. this movie. Um, he is a musician, a componist, and he is Hugo Höllenreiner. He is a Sinto. He was as a kid in Auschwitz with his family, and it's really interesting because he talks about what was there, and both of them go to Auschwitz, and he show him where he lived, and um, about Mengele, Josef Mengele, the doctor. He makes classic music, this young man, and it called Symphonia Romani Bariduk. And I think it's a really good movie. It's 45 minutes, and if you want to see it, look, maybe you can search it. You will find it, and he explained really good what was in Auschwitz.
Yeah, and
And sorry, and also it's for me it was really interesting to be there at the 2nd August. I think it was last year or 2
2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? And it was really emotional to be there at this place. But it was really interesting and really good for me to see that so much young people, the younger generation, is really interested in this topic, and you have a good connection with other people. I mean, you know it because you are every year there. It's a good connection with international people, right? Um, right, it's international. I was for 2 years there, and it was some people from Spain, from Hungary, Romania, Serbia. It was really interesting to have a good connection and talk about that. And we are the same kind, you know. We are the same. We have the same connections, same community, and it's also interesting because it's not only the Roma; it's also not Roma. But yeah, it's a good thing, and maybe you told them before, right, in other episodes. Yeah, when I was there for the ceremony, it was really hot outside because it's in August, but I'm really glad that we have older generations. They will speak to the young generation, told them about their yeah, their history, what they know about it, or about their families, because you said before we don't have any more survivors. I mean, some of them, but not all of them. And that the children from the survivor told us the story of the older generation, the survivors, and yeah, that's really important.
Thanks for watching us. If you want to support us, you can like this video and give us a comment. And to not miss our episodes, you can subscribe our YouTube channel. If you are watching or listening right now on Spotify or listen on Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts, you can follow our podcast. To get all informations from us, go and follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Amaro Voice. I think also it's important to mention, like for decades after the Second World War, the Sinti and Roma genocide was not officially recognized in most European countries, so you needed to take a lot of time. So, like example, the Sinti and Roma genocide got recognized in Germany as genocide very late in 1982 after the hunger strike at Dachau from Romani Rose and other Sinti activists happened, which we was also mentioned in our episode about the Romani history. So it took almost 40 years to get the recognition for the Holocaust in Germany. So it took a longer time. But from the activists, they managed to do it in the 80s.
Yeah, it was only the activists. It was not Germany. It was not the government or etc. It was the people, right? And that's the really hard thing to understand. You need to fight for your right, And for me, it's also really interesting after the concentration camps, after Hitler, it was this time the people comes back in their hometown, but these people who bring them to Auschwitz or other concentration camps, they had the same job. So kids, there was in a school, and the school, the director, the teacher say, ah, that's a Roma kid or Sinti kid. And after that, it was the same teacher, or and also the officials, the same people. So it was a really hard time after the Second World War and after the concentration camps,
Yeah,
because you
this
had
is
the same discrimination.
yeah. That's sadly like people who, like you said, who was part of the Nazis uh, after 45, similar or the same people who was after Sinti and Roma. They worked also for the government after 45. So then they dealt with them like with doctors, scientists, or also maybe like from police or other people.
But I think also maybe the people or the younger generation who are really interested here right now about the topic Second August. I mean, you can search for organizations. Maybe they will go to Auschwitz for the ceremony, and you will find for the next years, if you have interest in that, a place, and can visit Auschwitz, and also maybe to the Second August.
And I can also recommend to people who are like today this episode is for the 2nd of August. And I can recommend if you are interested in this topic and you want to know more about stories from Holocaust survivors, I can recommend you two who came to my mind now. One is Raymond Gurem, who is Manouche, um, one group who is part of the Roma and Sinti. They are from France, so I can recommend you to search maybe on Google for his story. And the second is the Sintesa, also Holocaust survivor Rita Prigmore, who has also both has very interesting and important story to know and to learn about the past, and also just to know what they suffered and what they experienced. And I can just recommend to search for Rita Prigmore and Raymond Corim. And there is many more survivors, but just now these two recommendations. So now it's time for our rubric Breaking Stereotypes about Roma. I asked ChatGPT to give me 10 stereotypes about Sinti and Roma. And now we have our stereotype number 7. Roma can do fortune telling and can do magic. So there is a picture, a stereotypical picture of a mystic Roma woman with tarot cards and crystal ball. It's like a cliche from books and movies that
Hmm.
they can see in the future and like fortune telling. What do you think about this?
It's really hard because I'm a really Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter. I love um witches. I love the mystic stuff. But um I I think it's not true, but
Yeah, I mean, I like also the Harry Potter movies, but this is
I hope I had that. It
this is
would
like
be nice, but
this is a fantasy
it's
genre for
fantasy.
movies. So
Yeah, but
uh,
I
it's
I love
because
Harry Potter.
there is people they believe that Romani people can do this. I mean, okay, there are people who are interested in that, who can maybe um, tell you your future for with tarot cards. If it's true, I don't know, but it doesn't mean that everybody from the Romani people can do this or are interested in that. So but there are maybe some people who are interested in that, but this because like you said you like Harry Potter, so you are interested in fantasy genre, uh, So, but you are not interested in fantasy genre because you're Roma. So this is also the same. If you like tarot cards and like witches and like this stuff, so then you are interested in these topics, in these things, not because of your identity, because you're Roma, because maybe as a person you liked it. So
Yeah, I think also it's like every stereotype. I mean, we have the other ones that you said before, and it's not specific for all people in this community. So you have some people, yeah. You have some people they can dance. They have some people they are good in art. I'm not good in art. Okay, I'm a good dancer, but I'm not good in art. I can sing. But it's also like, especially we are in Germany, you have also people they believe in magic, they believe in tarot cards or something else. You have German TV stations, German TV channels with I will tell you your future, call me, or something like that. And that's not the Roma people or Sinti people. It's normal German society people. You know what I mean? They are Germans, so I think I can't say we are not that people with magic, but I can say for me, I'm not a magical woman, sadly, but I'm not. People they are really in religion, and they say no, we can't do that. It's not allowed to us, or we don't believe in that. And then you have other people. Then you have some people. They say, "Yeah, I'm a really good witch. I can do that," and I don't want to say no. We are not. We Roma. We don't do that. I would say it's personal. So you see people they do that. You have people they don't do that, and you have German people they do that, and you have German people they don't do that. So I don't know. What do you think? It's
I
I
mean,
think that's
the problem on this stereotype is that some people really believe that Romani people have magic powers, and with magic powers is that Romani people can curse you, and there is where the Romaphobia, so fears against Roma, starts from non-Roma people when they really believe this, and uh, when they get fears from getting cursed. So there's also when the Romaphobia starts. So I think it's a critical. I mean,
mm,
it's kind. I got used to watch tarot videos before sleeping just for fun. I watch these videos and like to fall asleep, but I mean, yeah, something like this. But I mean, if you're interested in that, okay, it's not a problem. But need to be careful because there is really people who get Romaphobia because they are feared, they are scared that Romani people can curse you. So this is
So people be kind to
tricky.
us. Be kind to us because we are magical. No, I'm joking. Um but I remember as a child, I saw some from our community. It's not all of them, but I was really interested with the when you drink coffee and then you have something from the coffee and then they will look in it and tell you your future or something like that. I was really interested in that, but what I said before, it's not everyone. Some people, I mean, we are in a normal society. You have different people to different personalities, so not everyone makes this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. This is something like example with Harry Potter. It's fun to do to watch. It's like a let's say fantasy genre for Harry Potter. So some like it, some doesn't like it. So I think this can be something similar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So this was our rubric called "Breaking Stereotypes About Roma." The 2nd of August is the International Roma Holocaust Memorial Day. So how your NGO or from other NGOs how they use this day to commemorate, especially in your region in Germany? What do you know?
So we in Leipzig, Roma Nacional, we have here in our city a monument for the Sinti and Roma at the Second World War, and also for the 2nd August especially. And it's really interesting because the monument in Leipzig is older than the monument in Berlin. So it's from 2003. And every year at the 2nd August, we are there and have some flowers. We talk about that. We have some music. So we have also musicians there. They play Jelam Jelam. We are standing there with other people, and everyone has a flower and put it there to the monument. And 1 minute we are quiet there. We have also politicians there, and
Yeah, first I would like to ask if you watch right now to tell me if you are from different countries, and now Melissa explained how they in their region commemorate the 2nd of August, and we talked also about Auschwitz. So I would like to ask you, do you know, like you can make a comment from which country you are and how you commemorate the 2nd of August? Maybe um, you do also something like a small commemoration. Just put a comment on YouTube, but also on Spotify if you want. So, example, we did not for the 2nd of August, but about the Sinti Roma genocide 4 years ago, a project with the EVZ Foundation. My dad was doing a documentary movie about the Roma genocide in Serbia during the Second World War, where we found out that the Germans, when they occupied former Yugoslavia during Second World War, that they started in 1941 to um, kill almost half population, 50% of Romani people in the in the Yugoslavia. So, example, in Yugoslavia was living 300,000 Roma, and they killed 150,000, just like 50%. And we did a docutational movie in German language about that. Yeah.
can you put the link inside and show
Yes.
the
Yeah, we
page?
have a version with English subtitles because the interviews are in Serbian and also one with one survivor in Romani language, and the moderational thing are in German. So it's a mixed Serbian German language documentary movie. But we have also now a version with English subtitle. I don't know if it's online on YouTube, but I'm sure it will be online for 2nd of August, and then I will also put in the description especially this one with English subtitle on YouTube. We're almost coming to the end. Now it's time for anecdotes. I have also two short anecdotes, but do you have anecdotes? And you can start if you want.
I think now you will start
Okay,
today.
so like two short anecdotes. First, I talked about the movie, documentary movie before, and when we had the project, my dad, before he was starting to record the interviews, he had like was doing research. So he was going to archives in Serbia and to find like documentational materials by accident, because I always was thinking, okay, we in Kosovo, we was safe from the genocide, and that in my family nobody was killed. But then he got documentations. There was like brothers of my great great father, something like this,
Mm.
and they found documentation that they was killed in a concentration camp in South Serbia in Niš, because there was partisans. So the
Mm.
grandfather of my dad was part of the partisan group, and two of his brothers or cousins, um, they was killed at this concentration camp. And when we found out, because then we got this document for free from the archive, because
It's
from our
family.
family, yeah.
Mm.
And my dad was shocked, and when he told me, I was also shocked, because I never was thinking that we would have relatives who was killed during the Sinti Roma genocide. So this is like the short. And the second, I'm just thankful that During my time as an activist, especially from 2017 until 2019, I was in many events from the Documentation Center for German Sinti Roma Heidelberg in Germany, national but also international. And there, almost when we had the topic about Sinti and Roma genocide, and also many sometimes for the 2nd of August, I had the opportunity to meet survivors, mostly
Mm.
Sinti, but also some Roma, especially like example I mentioned today, Rita More and Raymond Gurim, but also many others. I had the opportunity to listen to stories of survivors where they told us what they experienced and where we also had the opportunity to ask them questions. And I'm very thankful for this experience because nowadays almost we don't have so much survivors anymore because they got older and
Yeah.
um, they sadly die. And so that I'm just thankful, and this is like my anecdote for this topic.
My anecdote is a little bit, I don't know how to say it, but I have some words to say. It's um, never again. And so don't look away, see what's going on, and say something. However, in which country, look for what's going on there and be against a genocide. So, never again, and say something.
I think that's the perfect closing words. Thanks for watching or listening. Ciao and Devlesa.
Tschüss.
This podcast is funded by der Stiftung Erinnerung, Verantwortung und Zukunft EVZ. As part of the project Amaro Voice, digitale Bildungsarbeit über die Communities der europäischen Sinti und Roma bei der NGO Medien- und Kulturzentrum Deutscher Roma e.V.